I'm here to report an attack on one of the pillars of this community. The man on the Mount Rushmore next to Dokkan World himself, DaTruthDT, is facing criminal charges in the Dokkan Battle community for his participation in misspeech, libel, slander, and all that shit. Government cases on this man, air raids for what he's done to Namek Goku and his EZA. Now I got on Dokkan and I was like, there should be an update pretty soon. The Namek EZAs are probably going to be announced or in a data download soon, but we haven't really seen anything. Well, here they are. Namek Goku EZAs here, and as I watch this private server content, yes, feeding the devil with two backs, I realized something was amiss, and I guess he did too, because his second video, I'm sure the comments on my latest Namek Goku video are very, 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 very smart, came soon after, only 2 hours. In this video, he goes out of his way to discuss the scary, scary, scary case of misinformation, and it starts simply right about here. You see, the private showcase, the video that was put up by our GOAT, was misinformation. The private server was wrong. How could it be? The private server is never wrong. But it brought to mind a conversation that was happening in the Dokkan Battle community very recently. You see, there were allegations in the private server. People were pulling out their hair for how unjust the moderators were, the predators. And at the helm of the Fuck the Private Server battalion, the band of fighters, was our GOAT Truth. I mean, he's the man that got me into Dokkan. So this entire shitstorm, where does it come from? Well, it starts with greed and, I guess you could say, the moral dilemma that comes with being a content creator. Nah, I'm gonna drop this act though, but this is so funny, man. This is so funny. The fact that the information was wrong, thus making them appear worse than they are, and it all spawning from the private server that DaTruth waged a holy war against before. And you can say, well, it's his job, he has to. But I will say, I love DaTruth's content. He is the reason I played Dokkan Battle. He's the reason I make videos for this game, actually. That said, this is one of the funniest sticking points that always gives me a little chuckle whenever I happen to see it, is ragging on private servers, which I have never used, which I will never use, but using them. Let me tell y'all something. If you're young, if you're out there, if you're like 16, 17, 18, or whatever, and you happen to see this video, know that none of your favorite content creators are moral people. The bag trumps all. Every single time, the bag wins. So let's get into what's going on, and I guess we'll discuss the LR EZAs being another possible flop for this anniversary. So we have the original inciting tweet, which is these comments on that video just made me mad. I will be ranting about those. We see D-Free pop in, talking about easy money, because of course, a rant video, that's going to do well. The one that you said you used Namek Goku wrong, because I saw a bunch of those. We're winning chat, the fucking GOAT video is back, man. I went back and watched this one, it was very good. Rant vid about comments on a private server vid. Oh. Yet I don't want to hammer this home too much, but I do love hypocrisy. If there's one thing that the Dokkan Battle community is across the board, it's a bunch of hypocrites, man. Private server, we don't care. Should have learned from Goku Black Buddy. Oh man. I will say that this is actually the comment I wanted to get to. This is probably not going to happen. I do want to put this aside for people. I think they're going to fumble the Year 7 EZAs, man, with how EZAs and Super EZAs have been looking, says Stizzy here. I don't think this is going to happen. I don't think you have to worry about this. I think the Year 7s, the Year 6s, Year 5s, you can look at them in the past few years. They have been treated exceptionally well. and it's not worth worrying about the anniversary EZAs typically, because they're complete exceptions to the rule almost every single time, right? Not that I think it's not like I'm not like, oh, you're stupid for worrying about this. I'm just saying that the anniversary LRs, EZAs are treated differently than the others, and you could look at the anniversaries from the last 2 years and see that, right? Any EZA you found to be kind of like it's almost never the case that it's going to pan out that way in actuality. But I guess we'll get to the next tweet. Here we come to the next chapter where he posts, maybe I am washed. Pat Riley on people calling him washed after Celtics championship. I had a little fun with this. And then people again pointing out fake Nameku EZAs. Think about it this way, Unc. At least you're proven right about not trusting private server footage all these years. Using bugged units. We all make mistakes, etc., etc. But are the Goku and Frieza EZAs underwhelming? Well, and you have to be honest, because I guess we can come to the crux of this. Freedom says, I don't want to sound whiny or annoying, but there should be way more backlash for you. Formism isn't good, and I saw an actual movement when the Zamasu name thing happened. It should be the same here, man. Buff them. What's gonna happen? I do want to pull up one more thing I should say, but yeah, I'm kind of on this right here, which is people have been coping too hard. They won't change their minds on them to get them buffed. That's just how it goes. Akatsuki seems pretty set. The only thing I could see being different is the global version. Us global players, we are not the side that the company listens to, I feel like. And this happens a lot with Japanese developers, actually. Nothing against, Japanese developers, but there was this long period of time in fighting games. I'm a fighting game player. I love fighting games. Fighting games are probably my favorite genre of game. There was this long period in fighting games where the global side, we could not get them to implement a solid net code for the games. It wasn't until Guilty Gear Strive really took off that rollback became the standard, the hard standard for fighting games. Before that, Japanese developers would literally develop the netcode for their island and then ship it, and then you'd be in America playing with someone in California on delay-based netcode, and it was dog shit. So there just never was any incentive to do it until someone in-house did it with Guilty Gear, and it took off during COVID or after COVID. So it's one of those things where the fact that the Japanese fan base is so mad as well could be something, but that's about it. I mean, the Japanese fan base weren't clapping when Goku and Frieza were shown for the anniversary, right? So I mean, I guess we'll see how that goes. But are Goku and Frieza bad? Are they not good enough? I would say they're not good enough at this point. Obviously, I haven't used them. I didn't really pay too much attention to the updated private server video. I was kind of I don't know. I had my laugh. I was kind of over it. It is what it is, essentially, for me. But we do have to sort of account for the fact that, yeah, the characters were shown wrong. The big damaging, Final Kamehameha look great, but defensively, are these characters just getting packed up? Gresh also brings up that we haven't really had a full power Frieza in years, essentially, between Dragon Ball Legends or Dokkan Battle, to which I responded, hey, we need to accept that Dokkan does not know what Namek Saga is. And at this point, we need to accept that Dokkan simply doesn't like Namek Saga because it's put out Goku and Piccolo were not good. Namek Vegeta was not good. Gohan and Krillin were not good. And Vegeta and Goku were not good. And now these two characters are not really good. It seems like on in first impression are not that good. And that's with the fact that it's not that they're not good right now. They're probably good, now. But in a week or two, when the hardest fight in the game drops, is that still going to be the same? I don't know. I do not know that answer, because right now they look like they can struggle. And if they can struggle now, they're probably going to struggle when the hardest fight in the game drops. But it sort of is what it is. To get into a bigger point, I guess, about this anniversary, I'm going to ask a question here, and let me switch over. So last but not least, we have these this recurring theme for this celebration, and these are not my own words. I actually saw a tweet talking about this, so I figured I'd talk about it. But it was that the Easy A's have been sort of weird this celebration. No, Wuhan is great. Super Vegito is okay. Dynamic Easy A's seem okay. Super Gogeta seems okay to good. Janemba seems good. And then when it comes to the released LR so far, Vegeta seems okay for a 10th anniversary LR. He's literally not even one of the top 10 units in the game. He's a part of the new power creep. And you could say, well, maybe it's because it's not power creep. It's power creep though. Look at the formidable fights. Like, we have real fights now. A new version of Super Battle Road. I said like months ago, hey, they need to implement a new version of Battle Road because it helps separate characters into better identities. If a character is good in the Super Battle Road stage, they might not be the best in a long form, and then it, vice versa, because they can't access their skills if it's just a two-face fight, next fight, two-face fight, next fight. You have to be more win now characters like Int Broly and Carnival Tech Broly. So we have a character that doesn't do either of those things really that well. He's just okay. We have the LRs that were just revealed. One of them is a Tournament of Power unit, which is another one because we just got a Tournament of Power unit. It's a very odd 10th anniversary, isn't it? And I don't want to make this a grandstanding point or anything and be like, you can't be hyped, because I think in a vacuum, all of these characters that were shown are worthy of being a 10th anniversary character in a vacuum. I think I can see a Vegeta like this, Evo Vegeta, being a 10th anniversary unit. I think I could, obviously, I personally, Cell Saga is my favorite. Of course I can see Super Saiyan 2 Gohan being one. Vegeta is obvious. Super Saiyan 4 Goku is obvious. Vegito is obvious. And even the Goku and Frieza form, which I talked about, is obvious. I can see all of these moments in a vacuum being an anniversary level moment. However, together it seemed very weird, right? It seemed like a very weird case of just mismanagement, I guess. And a lot of it's due to, or a lot of suspicion is due to maybe they're not testing them in-house enough, because whatever they think the game is going to look like in 2 weeks is not what it looks like even now. It's getting too hard for even the newest characters. Goku showed up and took he took a lot of damage from like Kui, you know what I mean? And this brings me to another point, which is that I think going forward, when all of this is done, when we get to Part 2 LRs, I'm going to put out a tier list that is the top 10 characters in the game, and then I'm going to put out another one which is dedicated to Formidable Battle, because Formidable Battle is fucking real and it's different. It's not the same as, a 10 or 12 turn fight versus, Mega Shenron. It's a very unique thing. And I think that's great. If there's one thing I will take away from the Dokkan Battle 10th anniversary, it's that I think introducing a hyper version of Super Battle Road is extremely good. But as far as the characters have gone, just purely on power, it seemed a little stilted. It feels truly like they had the intention to make the game harder, but they did not. It was so overbearing. They had to do so much work on each character, because there's 6 of them, that they didn't actually test these characters in their vacuum. And I have no doubts that Gogeta is going to be 1 or 2, and I have no doubts that Vegito is going to be 1 or 2, and we're just going to have a little battle where they're argued all year. All year is going to be, who's better, Vegito or Super Gogeta? Which one is better? Who's better? Which one is better? And I don't think it matters, because the umbrella of the other characters is just so weird this celebration. And a celebration, and you might be saying, well, if Buhan and Super EZA and Gogeta and Janemba and Dynamic Goku and Frieza, if they're just okay, they're not, they're not bad, they're just okay or good or what have you, then why is it a problem? I guess the problem is the 10th anniversary. In the 10th anniversary, should I really be questioning whether the 2 LR EZAs so far are good enough? That seems weird, but I guess it's gonna do it for me. If you like the video, subscribe to the club, and we all go make it. Peace.